going for the byline.
Brother, why did you do that? Can anyone explain why he's done that?
And into the penalty area to Stack, comes inside.
I'm so confused. You're allowed to defend. Somebody tell them that they're allowed to defend.
Curled into the middle.
I was one of those people that was quick to claim that Liverpool deserved more grace from the calls of crisis when the bad times began. This video aged very poorly. Turns out Liverpool's worst nightmare is themselves, because boy oh boy have things gotten bad. The manager is being dragged through the dirt, calls for his sacking are growing louder. The best player of their modern era is purposefully tanking their already broken team spirit, airing out all of his grievances for the world to see. I haven't seen Mo Salah struggle this much since he lived in London. Obviously, he's needed to be dropped for some time, and it's unfortunate because he's not the only underperformer. The corpse of Virgil van Dijk is over here playing goalkeeper without the designation. He still starts. Ibrahima Konate, already having played himself out of a move to Real Madrid, is now campaigning for a Manchester United transfer, I guess. It's the only explanation for these performances. Rumor has it that this is the leaked team tunnel footage before every game at Anfield. What we know for certain is that Federico Chiesa must have made a bold joke or two when Arne Slot arrived. How else would you explain the fact that he's bailed Slot out multiple times already, yet never gets a start? The problems at Liverpool run very, very deep. Hello all, hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Imagine spending £500 million and breaking the transfer record not once but twice in one window and only getting worse. Yikes. Let's jump right into why you clicked this video and then we'll move on to the actual problems later on. The man formerly known for running down the wing, now known for potentially speedrunning a departure. Let's not forget, this is normal behavior for Salah. Remember the time he was benched by Jurgen Klopp and had a very public bust-up with him on the touchline, needing Darwin Núñez and Joe Gomez to calm him down? Later, he told the press that if he spoke about what the argument was about, quote, there would be fire. I guess he was unhappy about being benched back then, and 19 months later, different coach, same response. After drawing 3-3 with Leeds and having been benched for the third game in a row, Mohamed Salah marched straight to anyone with a camera and microphone and gave them a piece of his mind.
I'm very, very disappointed, to be fair. I have done so much for this club. Sitting on the bench, I don't know why. It seems like a club is throwing me under the bus. I had a good relationship with the manager, and out of the sudden, we don't have any relationship. Someone doesn't want me in a club. I think if I'm in somewhere else, every club will protect his player. I don't know why I'm in that situation now.
He heads over to join up with Egypt for AFCON in just under 2 weeks, and he was floating the idea that the next time he's at Anfield, he's going to wave to the crowd, and this will perhaps be a permanent goodbye. Whether he's going to be included in the squad or not is a whole different question, I guess, at this point. Watching the media circus that this has created has been quite a sight, I must say. Yet, interestingly, when he went on about everything that's happened to him, he didn't really acknowledge his own part in all of this, his own performances. It was all about how he's been treated, you know, how much he's done for the club and how all of this is unjust. It's the victim card, despite the fact that the actual victims over here are probably the fans, his teammates. Van Dijk said it best after the win versus West Ham. No one has unlimited credit. Everyone has to perform. Van Dijk knows this all too well. He's one of the main reasons for Liverpool dropping off. But then again, as I said in the intro, Van Dijk isn't the one being dropped. Neither is Konate, neither is Gakpo, neither is Kirkes, nor is anyone else that's been underperforming. I'll go as far as to say that the only Liverpool player that can hold their head up this season based on their performances and actually trying their best is Dominic Szoboszlai, and he's doing like 3 or 4 jobs on the pitch every time he steps out. I guess I would also include Hugo Ekitike in that. He's shown his worth. If we strip away the emotion, you're left with some horrifying stats for Mohamed Salah. 5 goals and 3 assists in 19 games so far this season, which is just abysmal for a guy like Salah, given what we know he can do, given what he did, you know, just last season. Of course, a big part of this is how Arne Slot has decided to set up his Liverpool side, playing Salah closer to the touchline than the box, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But this isn't coming from nowhere. Last season, Salah had already dropped off in his pressing output. The numbers, however, justified his continued presence, and he was rewarded with a fat $400k per week contract, reportedly. He could walk around all games so long as he produced that one moment of magic when the team needed it, and he did that. The magic, it's no longer there though. And hindsight, it's quite a funny thing, isn't it? When Salah renewed, he was on 32 goals and 22 assists in 45 games last year. Liverpool had been rejecting offers from Saudi in every window because why would they sell their best player? In September 2023, the offer was £150 million from Al Ittihad. A good choice to retain him back then, but I'm fairly certain he had offers in the same ballpark from the same suitors in the most recent window. Perhaps looking back, Liverpool may regret not cashing in, but then again, there is still time. Saudi clubs are undoubtedly licking their lips due to recent events. And of course, the media circus is in full flow, so don't believe everything that you see or read. I mean, heck, don't even believe me. I'm AI. You may be wondering how I got the mustache so good, but that took some time. And you also might be wondering why the hairline is so botched. That's added for realness. From a purely football cultural point of view, it's a perfect fit. The biggest Arab player ever, playing in the most cash-flush league on the planet that are still trying to make a name for themselves. It seemed like something that's been inevitable for a very, very long time now. Perhaps Liverpool can then use that money to make themselves even worse. Time will tell. On to the manager himself. The lazy narrative is that Klopp built the system, Slot reaped the benefits last season. And this season, Slot built the team, and we are now seeing his true colors. If you're someone that's saying that he just rode on Klopp's coattails, you're being unashamedly reductive. But then again, this year, it really is his team. He's as responsible for their downfall as anyone else. More responsible than anyone else, I would say. And his poor management, it extends to more than just Mohamed Salah. We've got Jeremy Frimpong, Kwanzaa, Chiesa, Konate himself. You guys know that I'm no tactical genius. I'm not one of these deep advanced tactics YouTubers, but I just like to talk about what I see on the pitch. But the point is, if I can see certain things and talk about them on a platform like this, surely Liverpool can too. Slot's tried to evolve Liverpool into a team that confuses opponents with fluid rotations. The introduction of Florian Wirtz was supposed to unlock this roaming playmaker archetype that Liverpool haven't really had since Coutinho, maybe? In reality, the only chaos that's being created by Liverpool is within the minds of the Liverpool players. Liverpool have always pushed a lot of players up front, but now the sloppiness in their play is just leading to so many lethal counters. Milos Kerkez is arguably the biggest victim of all of this. He spends more time unsuccessfully tracking back than doing anything else these days, really, and there is no one that covers for him. For set-piece situations, whoever he's marking typically has a very good time. With the fullbacks playing high and wide and midfielders consistently vacating their positions to add to and bolster the attack, what we're left with is massive gaping holes throughout the entire game that the opponents exploit. Brentford's second in their 3-2 win over Liverpool is a great example. Ball one, no counter press, a high line exposed, and Kevin Schade gets his goal. There's no real creativity in that Liverpool attack anymore. Some people claim that it's a lack of Trent. I think that it's a bit more than that. I think it's just general sloppiness, general confusion, all those misplaced passes like in the previous example. Attempts to link up the play up the field is just, it always leads to dispossession and counters. Isak, Ekitike, Salah, Gakpo, Wirtz have all struggled with support runs. Their pressing structure is incredibly inconsistent, and when it comes to set pieces, this team is just shambolic. 10 league goals conceded already from set pieces. Over the entirety of last season, they conceded 9. They concede first in just about every game that they play, and every opponent knows just to make sure the ball gets to Konate, because he won't break lines with passes, and they know that when he's near the ball, freebies are common. In any given game, the pattern with this guy is extremely familiar. Needless penalties, mistimed dives into challenges, shooting out the backline formation and leaving holes. It's madness. Liverpool were 2 goals up against Leeds recently and were pretty much coasting. Leeds, however, had an inspired comeback, inspired by Ibrahima Konate. For whatever reason, he decides to make this challenge here. Why? We'll never know. The result of all of this is several humiliating defeats, many 3-0s and a 4-1 against PSV. In 13 appearances, £125 million man Alexander Isak has managed to score twice. £116 million man Florian Wirtz has less league goal contributions than Alphonse Areola, Emiliano Martinez, and Nick Pope. They are all goalkeepers, with 1 assist each. 0-0-14 is just insane. And this is where things get interesting regarding the man in the hot seat. Liverpool are in a very fast decline. Like it's looking very ugly, guys. They're the punchline of every joke in 25-26, more so than Manchester United, which is quite an achievement. But Slot is still a reigning champion. He's had to deal with a lot of squad upheaval. Liverpool have spent over £400 million building a squad that is tailor-fit to Arne Slot. Ripping that up after half a season, I think that would be an admission that the strategy that they've banked so much on is broken, or even worse, that they didn't actually believe in it that much to begin with. I think that barring a really true collapse, I'm talking nothing but L's and D's for a prolonged period of time and just abysmal performances, it's hard to see Liverpool pulling the plug on Arne Slot and getting him out of there. They've given him their public backing, but realistically, how sure are we that their love is limitless? The more likely solution I see happening is that Mohamed Salah is out, whether that's in this upcoming window or the one after that, and Arne Slot just tries his best to tweak his current team to at least stop the leaking of goals, because I think at this point that should be their priority. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a guy chatting nonsense. And there we have it. Let me know what you guys think about Liverpool and their abysmal form. And do you think it could get any worse? It might get worse. I don't know. Anyway, that's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.